About 4 years ago, I went with my friend Jennifer Lee, and she invited me to come to a human trafficking awareness seminar at Mercy Hospital. And so I went, and when I was there, I heard Johnny Gosh's mom, Noreen Gosh, however you say her name, tell the story of her son, who was a paper boy who was 12 years old in Des Moines, was taken. And she, for years and years and years, tracked him on the dark web, found random pictures of him here and there tied up. I mean, how awful. And there was a lady there, and I felt the Lord say, go ask her to be a part of speaking. Because I had this little stirring, and it's interesting, you know, when God wants to help you bring all the pieces together, He is intricately and intimately interested in the details of your life. And at the time, I was the youth leader at our church, and we were going to do a human trafficking awareness night. And Lenchen Rayside was the woman that I walked up to, said hello, and then asked her if she would speak. I didn't know who she was from nothing, but she said yes. And that's kind of where human trafficking got on my radar. And now, years later, it's like 5 years later, there's like, I tracked throughout last year, and maybe some of you had seen that on Facebook, the different busts that had happened around our country, around the world, and there's been so many more this year with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, and many more to come, I'm sure. And human trafficking, child pornography and child trafficking is horrific. And it got me thinking, in some way, shape, or form, we've all gone through like some messed up stuff. And I just pray for all those who have gone through and been rescued, all those who are still in there, who are in need of rescuing, that God would bind up their hearts and heal them. And, you know, with all of this stuff coming out, I've seen story after story after story of different people saying little pieces of their story, and there's lots of them. One of my stories was when I was 16, a man broke into my house. He hid in my closet, and he woke me up in the middle of the night with a knife to my neck, pulled me up out of my bed, and told me to walk. And my mother had, for years by this time, 5-6 years, I'd been watching like murder mystery stuff, and I'd been watching serial killer movies and documentaries and all that kind of stuff. So as soon as he told me to walk, my insides were like, if he takes you out of this house, you're as good as dead. And so instead of walking, I started talking, because when he said, stand up, now walk, I thought, I know that voice. And so instead of walking, I started talking, and I argued with him about who he was. And he pushed me towards the door and again said, walk, shut up, walk. And I screamed bloody murder with every ounce of everything in me. And he ran out of my house. And he didn't touch a thing. He didn't knock a thing over, which told me this person knew the layout of this house. I also told myself that I needed to be calm. See, now, a residual thing that has happened in my life from that is I am like forever locking doors. Like, I'm the biggest door locker ever, and to the point where my husband like tries to get in the house and he just went out to the garden and I have just already walked behind him and locked the door. It kind of drives him crazy, but it's like automatic, you know? But that day, that wasn't the thing that scarred me the most. The thing that scarred me the most was I had told myself, okay, after he had ran out of the house and my mom had called the police, I had told myself, you know, in my little 16-year-old mind, you need to calm down. You need to get your facts in order. You need to make sure that you remember every detail that you possibly can so that they could get the guy. The police came, sat down at my mom's kitchen table and began to ask me questions. And I very calmly, very directly told them what I remembered. He was probably about 6'1". He had some gauze wrapping on his hands. I knew, like, he had like a sweet smell on his skin, and I thought I knew him. I argued with him. I told them the story. And the cop sits back and he crosses his arms and he looks at me kind of sideways like this. And he says, "Now, are you sure that your boyfriend wasn't over here and the two of you just got into it a little rough and made too much noise and you didn't want to get in trouble? And so you made up this story?" He accused me of something I didn't do. Somebody who I had always thought would be someone who would protect people accused me. And my mom told him where to go and sent him packing out of our house and threw him out. They never did catch the guy. And that was what scarred me more. It made me afraid to tell the truth. And I had a long road to work out that mess in my heart. But all around the world, there are men, women, girls, boys, children who have a story. And those stories matter. And I was lucky. I screamed my head off and I refused to let him move me. I was strong enough. I was 16. I wasn't 12. I wasn't 8. I wasn't 6. So, you know, if you think about it, or just right now, pray for those who are dealing with human trafficking. Pray for those who are going in to help them. Pray for truth to come out, because it matters. Okay. If you want to share your story, share it with me. That's why we're here. Sharing of our stories helps heal the soul. When you get what's in the dark out into the light, it has less power over you. Truth matters. All right, I'm gonna. You have a good day. Bye.